Alrighty, Splice Strategists, welcome to the land of kilts and bagpipes for Operation Risky Putty. The aliens have decided this Scottish construction site was a prime target for their abductions. Now, I don't be having any bloody idea why these construction workers have done to deserve such attention. I would have thought one of the many Scottish Air Force or naval bases would have been a better target, but what do I know? I'm just an American sod who keeps struggling to make sure this accent doesn't slip and start to sound Irish. It gets me to wondering, do you think the people of the UK ever struggle with that? Like, if they're trying to do an American accent, they trip up and start sounding Canadian instead? But I dinna suppose you came here to listen to me pontificate about bad accents. Let's get us started with the mission, shall we? So we start the mission off as usual, by stopping whatever bad accent I was doing and scanning the fog of war for any signs of meld. We see, rather quickly, that we have one nearby. We send DJ Sucre over, and he finds out that we have a whopping 5 turns before it expires. Thus, we can afford to pace ourselves. So of course I rush forward with Beetleburr and aggro 2 floaters. Nice! Well, I got impatient and done goofed. Most of the hardcover that's around isn't within one movement of the team, so it'd be unwise to fight the floaters in a straight up firefight. The one advantage I have is the fact that the floaters can only see Beetleburr. My plan then is to hang everyone else back, put them into Overwatch, then move Beetleburr behind the excavator, and hope the floaters are their usual reckless selves and charge headlong into the team's Overwatches in their quest to brutally murder Beetleburr. Only, we're playing XCOM. Things don't usually make sense in XCOM. The first floater, instead of being recklessly aggressive, flies right up to the edge of hardcover and shoots at Adrian Rod. This is where things take a turn for the bizarre. Not only did he miss a soldier in half cover, which is a rarity, but as we rewind, we can see that he hit the digging attachment. This somehow lights the entire excavator on fire. Yes, in what is the shoddiest built piece of construction equipment ever, the plasma heats up the exterior metal, which somehow lights the hydraulic fluid on fire. The fire then spreads through the pressurized valves, which are sealed, mind you, and apparently connected to the gas tank in the carriage for some reason. So now, the whole thing will go kaboom next turn. So, any plan that involved hiding has, much like Beetleburr's cover, gone up in smoke. Beetleburr needs to run, but the floater up there is in Overwatch. Luckily, Jimmy has a one-step solution to that problem, and she likes to call it a headshot. With that taken care of, we run and gun Citrus Architect up and get him in position to kill the other floater. But before he does, we let Adrian Rod take a shot at it, just in case she might be able to get the kill and thus a promotion. But she missed, so Citrus Architect administers an unhealthy dosage of vitamin C. With that taken care of, Beetleburr is now free to scamper away from the burning vehicle with all the grace of the noble fedora-wearing cheetah. Excavator goes boom, and we now know it is safe for Citrus to collect the meld. With that meld captured, we orient ourselves towards the other meld, and son of a biscuit! I have once again moved Beetleburr 1 square too many. So, we're back to hiding Beetleburr behind the excavator, while the rest of the team hopes the Thin Men over-pursue. Part of our wishes get fulfilled, as one of the Thin Men presses too far, but, unfortunately, while the rookie's aim is true, the damage is minimum. The Thin Man then returns the favor by making use of the world's worst breath. Get a Tic Tac or something, dude. The other one seems just fine with watching. What a creep. With our rookie poisoned and the Thin Men entrenched, it looks like we're in trouble. But never fear, because DJ Sucre has Bullet Swarm. If you recall, Bullet Swarm allows DJ Sucre to fire with his first action and have that not end his turn. That means we can, if we so desire, have him shoot once and then, if we need it, fire a rocket to kill both Thin Men. We have control. Knowing that I have this option, I elect to have him shoot first at the overwatching Thin Men and see if he can't loosen things up for the rest of the team. Well, Kermit the Frog is not going to be pleased, because DJ Sucre is making it look all too easy being green. With the Overwatcher down, we're free to shift people around. Recently poisoned Adrian Rod tries to get the kill shot, but is still getting the gunk out of her eyes. Citrus Architect, on the other hand, powders the Thin Men like he was shooting skeet. Thin Men dealt with, Beetleburr dodges the poison cloud to heal up Adrian Rod. Then, it's time to find the other meld. As we push forward, Adrian Rod spots the meld being camped by 2 sectoids. With the timer at 1 and no one close enough to capture it, the only hope we have of obtaining this meld would be if the sectoids are the last 2 critters on the map and we kill them this turn. I'm doubtful that they are the last 2 left, but hey, that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Jimmy takes aim at the sectoid who's desperately trying to figure out how to get this bus started, but sadly, she decides to yield right of way. Beetleburr, on the other hand, instructs the sectoid on the most basic Terran traffic rule. Red means stop. With only 1 sectoid left, Adrian Rod looks to end this mission. Hoping that the owner of this gray hatchback has insurance, she lets her grenade fly. Please note that the mission is not over. That means there are other aliens elsewhere on the map, and we're just going to have to come to terms with the fact that we won't be capturing both melds this mission. But we can always take solace in the fact that we can piss off floaters by invading their personal bubble and letting Jimmy forcefully bring them back down to Earth. Now, with this guy likely the final alien, the last thing I want is for him to get a lucky shot off that sends one of us to the med bay or worse. So, Beetleburr and Citrus Architect make full use of full cover and a smoke grenade. Then, Citrus Architect sends the floater a message, encouraging it to find better cover, because his is about to get all banged up. Then, in what some experts are calling a tactical error, and what I'm calling dumb as rocks, the floater uses its first move to dodge shots and hide. Then uses his second move to fly into a clearly flanked position. Wow! Battlefield strategy doesn't seem to be your strong suit, Patton. Maybe you should try a different field. Biology, perhaps? DJ Sucre will even teach you the first lesson free. The topic of the first lecture? Natural selection. And thus, Operation Risky Putty ends with the death of the dumbest alien since the Yip Yips on Sesame Street. It makes me wonder why XCOM was brought in at all. You telling me Duncan MacLeod, Sean Connery, and the other sons and daughters of William Wallace couldn't have handled this with a few tossed cabers and some claymores? As someone who is 1/4 Scot, I am insulted by the offensive insinuation that Scots couldn't have handled the situation on their own. In any case, we can rest easy knowing that the aliens will now be thinking twice before they mess with any more mission-critical construction sites in the Highlands. Upon landing, we find out that this mission was a promotion bonanza. First up is 06 Lady Grey Jimmy, who is promoted to lieutenant. Our choices are either Disabling Shot, which jams the aliens' guns, or Battle Scanner, which allows us to scout ahead with a thrown camera, plus expose any stealth enemies. Disabling Shot is great at helping us capture enemy combatants, and limiting the number of shots some of the more beefy enemies can take. But, as G.I. Joe has taught us, knowing is half the battle, so I'm going with Battle Scanner. Next up is 03 Shaman Beetleburr, who is also getting promoted to lieutenant. Revive is an ability that, if a soldier is incapacitated, you can not only prevent their death, but you can help them back up and into the battle. Rifle Suppression, on the other hand, is an ability that lets you use up some ammo in favor of reducing an enemy's chance to hit by 30%. Revive is very situational and requires you to be in a situation where you've already gotten lucky. Rifle Suppression, on the other hand, can limit damage and keep you out of those sticky situations to begin with, so that's what I'm going for. 08 Citrus Architect is now a corporal and has the choice between Tactical Sense and Aggression. Tactical Sense gives you more defense when you're around enemies. Aggression is similar, but gives you crit chance when you're around more enemies. If you've been paying attention to me at all, you know that I want to survive, so defense it is, and we're taking Tactical Sense. Adrian Rod's only kill was with a grenade, so naturally she gets promoted to be a sharpshooting sniper. Makes sense? First thing we do is give her the designation she has earned, 1-0, and then it's time to customize. I unfortunately know very little about Adrian Rod, and her icon didn't give me much to go by, so she's getting white armor, because I don't have white armor. Unfortunately, she will also be spending 9 days in the med bay while her body recovers from being attacked with mustard breath, or something like that, I don't know. Chemical weapons are weird, man. The cherry on top of the sundae that was that mission is the fact that we've also earned a Cherno Alpha badge. And, seeing as he's going to be getting into the middle of a lot of firefights, I award it to 08 Citrus Architect. Well done, Citrus. With all that now out of the way, we go to scan and the game lets us know that the offer Australia made to us back in episode 7 is almost off the table. Now, A quick rewind back will show that the game says that the satellite will be finished before the offer from Australia expires, but it doesn't say how much sooner. This is important because when you do a scan, the timer takes bigger time skips. I have learned the hard way in other runs that if the time between events is close enough and you scan, instead of happening sequentially, the events will happen concurrently. For us, 200 double space buck dollars hangs in the balance. So instead of taking the risk with the scan, I hang back and just let the time pass naturally. 1 second of time staring at the screen represents 1 minute of time passing in the game world. Given the fact that the satellite was about a day away, that means I may need to wait up to 24 real-life minutes. Well, video takes up a lot of memory, so I kind of stopped recording, but came back when the satellite was ready to launch. Now, you may say, Splice, you seriously wasted 20 minutes of your life just staring at your computer screen? My answer is yes. XCOM is serious business. Also, I probably made small talk with my roommates or surfed TV tropes or something. I didn't just stare at the screen, come on. My mishandling of free time aside, the satellite is launched and Australia gives us 200 double S's. But any satellite in Asia needs to be protected. So I transfer Raven 2 to Asia and build a Phoenix cannon for it. I follow that up by using my recent Australia given gains for building 3 additional satellites and get back to scanning. Raven 2 is now operational over Asia, so I equip it with a Phoenix cannon, and it's back to scanning. Lo and behold, beam weapons research is complete, but before I can go to making laser rifles and pistols, I need to choose my next research topic. Well, I've ignored Dr. Vahlen for long enough. It's time to go with her research priority tasks, put some aliens under the knife, and research xenobiology. Only, I kinda make a mistake here, and don't start excavating the space needed for the xeno containment unit that will be the result of this research. So I'm not gonna have enough room for it when the research completes. Oops. Regardless, I go back to scanning, and it's time for another round of abductions. And this is where things get interesting. Looking at the panic chart, if I ignore the USA, all of North America will be on edge. If I ignore Argentina, all of South America will be rioting. And if I ignore Egypt, Egypt will riot, but the rest of Africa will be as cool as the other side of the pillow. So, obviously, we help out Argentina or America, right? That's not the decision I actually make. I've said it a bunch of times, but I might as well say it again. The bonus for having satellite coverage for all of South America is absolutely awesome. So I don't care if they riot, as it gives me an excuse to give them satellites. Helping out Egypt, though, will calm them down to 1 bar and make it so that I can ignore a lot of missions in Egypt in favor of other continents going forward. It's a bit of a gamble, to be honest, as this decision will make it so that Asia and North America will be almost entirely on edge. So I look at what the rewards are for the two. If the USA was offering me engineers, they'd be getting the help. As it stands though, they are offering me scientists. I need money more than I need scientists, and Egypt is offering me cold hard cash. So we're rolling the dice and helping out Egypt. In assembling the team, I see that Gemini Spark is back up for duty, so I give DJ Sucre another rest and bring back my mighty mechanical marine. And though Adrian Rod is now my backup sniper, I still need another backup support and heavy. I see Pharaoh's Queen is back from the med bay, so we're giving her another shot at greatness. I then almost send the team on the mission without building any of my new awesome laser guns. It's a mistake I actually kind of make surprisingly often, so learn from my mistakes and do not do that. I go to the gray market and, if my math is right, I sell exactly enough to buy 3 laser rifles and 1 laser pistol for Jimmy. Only when I buy everything I have 12 simoleons left over, so apparently my math was not right. But how can I be expected to get simple addition and subtraction correct? I only have a physics degree. So I equip the new laser weapons and we're off to Egypt. Only it seems I clicked on Argentina.
Strike 1. Prepare for landing.
Let us never speak of this again. Looks like our mission naming intern thinks that we'll require some sound tactics and wise strategy to survive our next alien encounter. So, join us next week for all of the imperative decisions I'll have to make in Operation Necessary Wit. Until then, I'm Splice, And as a quarter Scotsman, let me just say, the aliens may take our lives, but they'll never take our construction!